Okay, year 8, good to have you back. Mr. Ali here with Computing with Mr. Ali, and today we have some really exciting things to do, really interesting things. We've been building up on basics and skill on top of skill on top of skill. We're going to build on top of those to do something today that can be very useful in a future career or for a hobby or for some things that you might like to do in life. Today we're going to look at how to use code to do the hard bits of managing a content management system. Now, anytime you post to social media, anytime you post to a website or a blog, this uses a content management system to take what you type and your images and other types of media to put into a database, and then after that, select it, take it out, and present it onto the internet in the way it's supposed to be. If you're playing Fortnite, then your score totals and your avatar and your uniform thing you wear, all of that is managed by that. But today we're going to look at how to use code to work with files. So we're going to create input, it's going to write it to a file, and then we're going to show how that can be taken out of the file and displayed as well. So without further ado, let's go over here and look at our REPL. Okay, we're going to start in full screen mode here just so I can show you that I have site.txt here that I have created, stored, and have already tested the code to make sure that it works. Okay, so let's zoom in on this and see what's actually going on in the code. And to start off with, you can see at the top you have user equals blank. This is important going on because we're going to then define in the while loop while user does not equal q. This is a boolean here for does not equal. While user does not equal q, do stuff. Here's the stuff we're going to do, right? Today equals input, and it's a string. Believe me, this is a very, very, very basic form of content management system, but effectively, this can, in PHP, in Visual Basic, in .NET, in Java, in all the different types of programming languages that you would use for a content management system, it will essentially work the same way. This is just a very basic stripped down version. So anyway, we have a string we're inputting as the date. What's the date? Right? Then the event equals input. Our event, so today is the date variable. The event variable is input. What's happening? Okay, f equals open, site.txt, and a. f.write is today plus event plus a character return. So this is how the file is going to look inside. We're going to take what's happening and we're going to enter that into site.txt as a, and they're going to write today plus excuse me, comma, the event up here, and then a character return. At which point you have your user input anything else or Q to quit. Now, the anything else or Q to quits actually can be improved substantially, but it gives us the option to quit. So because user's blank, and while user does not equal Q, we're going to do this stuff. At this point, you have the option to change the user variable to Q, and that means that the user no longer does not equal Q, user equals Q, and this goes to f.close. I'm going to close the file, then f equals open, site.txt, and r, so the contents equal f.read, print the contents, and then close it up. So what is going to happen is we're going to write things into the file, we're going to quit the file, then the code is going to display what we wrote into the file, right? So, as I said, a couple days ago, I entered some stuff into the file, tested the code out, works right, and now we're going to see what we run now. I'm going to add something to it. So, what's today's date? We have 1 July 2020, and we really want to spell that correctly. What's happening? Today we are learning about CMS code with Python, exclamation mark. Anything else, or Q to quit? I'm going to hit Q to quit. So at this point, I as a user equals Q. Hit return. Today, 1 July 2020, today we're learning about CMS code with Python. So there we go. That is the contents that I just wrote. But if I come over here and look at site.txt, there we go. We have inside site.txt 1 July 2020. There's the comma. Today we're learning about CMS code with Python. So you can see that is exactly what was displayed. That was what was written in this line of code with a carriage return. Then we quit. Then when it opens, f equals open, site.txt, contents equals f.read, and it prints the contents right up here. Everything works very nicely, bish bash bosh. So what I would like you to do is create your own site.txt, write something in it, test the code, and then share that with me at Mr. Ali on REPL.it. I want to see that you have made it work and that you've written your own content into site.txt. Share that with me and we'll be good to go. Okay, so two or three things before we go. Firstly, I know there's more to the code going on in there. We'll cover this in year 9 or year 10 GCSEs. There's extra bits, but what I want you to understand are the basics and the sequence of how this code works down and saves text to a file. If I'm not mistaken, next week we're going to look at CSV files, comma-separated values. Now here's where you can feel the power. You can do lots of very, very cool stuff with Python. And you can get paid lots and lots of money to do this. But that's next week. Right. I know you're really, really busy. We had a really good response on the quiz last week. We had a class average of 72%. Well done to you all. Quite a few got 100% on it. Remember, on Show My Homework, you can retry the quiz if you think you can do better. You have up to 3 retries of that. So well done to those who made an effort. Well done to those who did well. The next thing is, I know you're really busy, but I'd like to see you really make an effort to get engaged with this. I'm trying to cut the videos down to be short, sharp, quick videos, quick homework, quick assessments, and I can get back to you. Finally, behind me is a castle that I'm broadcasting from. It's a place I visited. If you can tell me where it is, there's a golden ticket in for you. So get in touch, let me know, and share your REPL with me on REPL.it. Good to hear from you, and I wish you have a lovely week. Take care. Cheers. Bye.
You've been listening to the Mr. Ali Show. Tune in every week during term time for fun lessons in computing with Mr. Ali.